Motivational quote from Benjamin Franklin. Never confuse motion with action. So never confuse motion with action. So kind of what do I get from that? What do I get from that motivational quote? What do I get from that saying? I think pretty much what it's speaking about is sometimes things may seem like they're moving, right? You might think that people are putting in the work, they're doing their due justice because you see certain things move, you see certain things happen, but sometimes they ain't putting the action to it. Sometimes it might just be it might seem like they are, but they ain't, right? So if that's the case, we can't just assume that they're putting in the work, they're putting in the time and the effort into things, and maybe they ain't really moving the way that you think they be moving, right? Because they ain't putting the action behind it. The action is not there for us to be like, you know what, they're doing it, right? They're doing it. Let's give them props, let's give them praise. They don't. Sometimes they may not be doing it. Sometimes there may not be any action behind it, right? But then another way that you could kind of even look at this quote a little bit, right, is that maybe things could move in a great way. Maybe things could move in a beautiful way without you taking some action. And maybe, you know what? Maybe that action is taken by God. Maybe he's the one intervening and really just doing something amazing with it, right? Maybe he's the one that's pushing it through and just making it happen, right? So maybe that's just another way of seeing it as well. Warren Buffett. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. So someone may be sitting in the shade today because of somebody planting a tree in the past. So think about that, right? Think about that for your kids. Think about that for the people that come after you, right? Because you know what? You want them to live beautifully. You want them to live comfortably. You want them to live where they ain't got to struggle so much. You know what? Think about it like that. You got to put in the hard work so they could just be able to enjoy, so they could enjoy the fruits of your labor, so they could enjoy the hard work that you put in just for them, specifically for them, right? Because you don't want them to be struggling. You don't want them to be like, oh man, you want them to continue the hard work. You want them to continue to be doing what you already did. You want them to continue your legacy. But the thing is, you gotta give them that little head start. You gotta put in that hard work so they don't have to struggle just as much as you did. Right? That's the important part of it. You don't want them to struggle the way that you had to struggle. Herman Melville. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation, right? Because you want to be original. You want to be you. You want to be everything that God has placed you to be, right? You don't want to succeed just by being just like everybody else, because you know what? They ain't going to see anything special in you, right? God sees something special in you. You should see something special in yourself. And if you don't, then you know what? You need to dig deep down and be like, you know what? What's original about me? Because there's so many things that's original about you that you probably are overlooking. Right? So that's really what this quote is saying. It's like, you know what? Don't worry. Don't try to succeed in imitation. You know what? It's okay if you fail in originality. You keep going until you succeed in your originality, until you succeed in your uniqueness, till you succeed in who you are. Meghan Markle. Don't give it 5 minutes if you're not going to give it 5 years. So don't give it 5 minutes if you are not going to give it 5 years, right? If you are not going to do something big about it, if you're not going to, if you are not going to put effort into it in the future, then why are you going to do it now? Why are you going to act like you're going to do it now? Why are you going to put so much time and effort and everything if you're not going to continue to do it in the future? If it's just something that's just going to be there, you're just going to try it, maybe give up in a little bit, then you shouldn't do it, right? You should not do it. You need to put your time and your effort into something that you're going to do now, but something that you are going to continue to do, something you're going to continue to build, something that you are going to continue for the rest of your life, or at least some type of more of a longer term goal than just this 5 seconds, this 5 minutes of it, right? You got to invest in your future. Anonymous, you do not find the happy life, you make it. So this one is important. You do not find a happy life, you make it, right? For so long we always thought this fairy tale of, man, I'm gonna find the joy, right? I'm gonna find that happiness in my life. No, you make it, right? You find the right people to put into your life, but know what? It's really all up to you. You need to be able to make it a happy life. You got to put the effort. It ain't just gonna fall in your hands and everything gonna be so perfect. It's not a fairy tale, right? You know what? It may seem like a fairy tale when you find the right people, but you and them got to make it into the happy life. You can't just snap your fingers and boom, it's a happy life. You got to put the time and effort, the work into it. Put the work and the time and the effort into making it a happy life, and I promise you it will be a happy life, but you got to work at it. It ain't gonna come easy. You got to put in the work, y'all. Got to put in the work, and I promise you won't regret it. You won't regret it, and know what? You will benefit in it. You will reap in it. You will definitely enjoy every single bit of it.